Okay, traders, we're going to continue with this monster trade. We're in this trade. My guys that are following me started back in here, and they're in these trades. They're also in this one here. This was the last one I posted. Now, here's the thing. If you haven't already, and you're new to this, if you go back through my videos, you'll see 3 videos in here. The last Bitcoin. This is the monster trade blueprint. So if you haven't, you could go back and watch them, so you'll be up to speed with what we're doing here. So, I mean, we're still in this trade, these trades from back here. And in the last video, I talked about VWAP, right? So let me just grab a thing. Okay. The blue line VWAP we talked about in the last video, and we talked about this move here being a like a 3 or a 4 drive pattern, and then you'll usually see a correction. Okay, a lot of people are into Elliott wave. Think of a 5-wave structure with an ABC correction. I'm not an Elliott kind of a guy. I do like to look for this sort of 3 or 4 drives in any given trend, and when it pushes out, see this blue line. This is VWAP. Okay, so when it pushes out from VWAP, you got to expect it now, especially at the end of the week. Okay, the end of the week when traders start winding up positions, right? We're getting the pullback. Now, we entered this trade yesterday thinking that it's possible it could continue. We've got a buffer. This is all in the money now, so we've got a really good buffer behind us. If we lose one, it's just not an issue whatsoever. So, when you've built a buffer like this, there's no risk, 0 risk, especially because we've been taking 50% of our position off these. So I'm going to continue this monster trade concept for anybody who's new to this, and we'll look at what comes next and, where we go from here. I'm going to tweak this a little bit. Now, I did mention in my last video that you could take 50% off the table and just leave your stop loss where it is. Now, no, that's not such a great idea, because I kind of overlooked it, right? My bad. You need to at least pull your stop loss up to break even on these trades. Break even. You don't trail price. Take 50%, go to break even. That's it. And then that is profitable big time. Take 50%, go to break even, 50%, go to break even, 50%, right, go to break even. So all these trades are moved to break even, stop loss, all of those. So we could draw a line through there. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue this as we progress, right? Now, look, worst case scenario, it turns around and these get taken out, and it just doesn't matter, because we've already made money. We've secured profits, and there's no risk. Close at break even, we make money. Done. So as these progress, you don't want to move your stop loss to break even too early. All right? This one here, for example, we're not ready to move it to break even. We've taken 50% off this last one, but I would just hold my stop loss. Maybe move. Look, you could probably move it up a little bit, so you're going to come out of it okay. If that stop loss gets taken out with 50% off the table and your stop loss kind of moved up by half, that's done and dusted, no risk, and you've made money, all right? So this one then is completely insignificant. And the benefit is, if it happens to hold above here and we continue up, then it's Christmas, right? Well, we've just had Christmas, right? Okay, let's just go back in time, and I'm just going to continue on, and then we'll come back and look at how we can get involved with this again, right? See, look at this. You start back here, and you build your positions, and you continue this process, right? So that's what I'm getting at. Continue the process. Don't stop, right? So, you just keep building, right? I talked about this with gold as well. So, look, anytime you see a currency pair, gold, Bitcoin, or anything like that, that could be potentially, getting into a trend reversal situation on the higher time frame. I'm talking, daily, weekly time frame. You want to then catch this reversal, and then hold on to these just stay with them for the right. Just jump on the train, guys, and hang in there, because given that price is trading above here, all these trades back here are profitable. Okay, so it trades up and it pulls back. These, all right, stop losses are all at break even. Look at that. So maybe this one here probably may have, if the stop loss was at break even, that could have got taken out. So let's get rid of it. These guys are still in with their stop loss at break even above this low here. See that? So they remain, right? So you've got all of these trades back here that are still, well, maybe, okay, so we lost that one. So look, just look back, see? Okay, that pulled back and took those out. Fair enough, so let's just knock that on the head. All right, so you've got these running. Now, what I'm talking about is, this is a 1 hour chart. Bitcoin, I mean, where do you want to go with that, right? What's that? 15, go, 20, 30, 40. Look at the potential for this over the next, I don't know, 2026 if you want, right? If you've got enough leverage and what have you, and you can build these positions and hold them, we're looking at, like, that's 20R. Okay, now, you might have 20 trades all through here, like you can open 2 or 3 a day and they're still in there. Just imagine trying to get your head around what that's worth. So let's just come back to our current where we are now, and yeah, I mean, so guys, look, this is it. This is the strategy. So we're going to look for the next entry point. So these are all still running, and we've got the reversal. So all I'm waiting on is for this, now that we've pulled back into VWAP, and it's looking really interesting at the moment. We've got a double bottom here, okay, lower high, all right, so a bit of a break of structure, but this could hold up. So what I'll be looking for here is this. I'll show you exactly what I'm looking for. Let's just open it up. All right, that occurred. We have a shift, okay, this little trend here, that's happened. I would hold back until we get that. I would hold back until we get that. So what I'm really looking for is I want to see this high taken out, because my strategy, like in a trend continuation situation, yeah, we took that one, but here, look, see, when it pulls back and you get this lower high, you stay out of it until the higher highs kick back in. So the higher highs kicking back in could look, all right, that pull back into here would be all right. Okay, something like that. I don't want to get involved here yet, but because that could turn around. I'm looking for this to give me a higher high. This needs to, because we don't even have a higher high yet, right? So let it do that, and then you got a higher high, pull back, take your trade there on that pullback. Higher high, trade, pullback. Exactly the same thing as happened back in here, look. Higher high, pullback, and we start to break structure, we get involved. Pulls back, we start to break structure, we get involved. It pulls back, it starts to break structure. You've got to have a system in place, as I mentioned in previous videos, that give you, I've marked it up here, see this? That give you this rotation. And one easy way to do it is to grab your Fibonacci, and when it starts to trend, look for low to high. See that? 50 to 61.8 is my point of interest. Rotation. So you're looking for price to expand and retrace, and then break structure. Well, this would be a structural break right here. So let's just call that a BOS. Yeah, we got that. Okay, it breaks structure, comes back into retest, and then we take that pullback. Now, this could be a little early. Some people might want to wait for 2 of these, right? One's like a change of character, and the next one would be the break of structure. Just up to you and how. Look, we've already built a massive, buffer. I would take that risk, and that would be my trade. Long position. If we come back down in here and we break this, it breaks out of this that pull. Hang on. We break out of this pullback. Now, guys, seriously, just try to get your head around this. With all of these trades that we have running at the moment, just think about it. Add them up. And what would that look like if they reached 50R? Okay? Go back and have a look. Just leave these, you don't touch them now, you just leave them alone. You've taken 50% of all of them, your stop losses at break even, all right? Done and dusted, all right? And then continue on. Now, again, Bitcoin can be a little bit wild, okay? If it turns around and takes a dump, it just doesn't matter. Because my higher time frame bias is bullish, and I'm just going to wait for the next rally to set up, and I'm going to be back in again, just doing the same thing. Enter, close 50% at 1R, enter, close 50, enter, close 50, enter, close 50. Start moving your stop losses to break even, but don't like follow too tight behind price, because it can pull back, and you don't want too many of these to get taken out. So, I mean, look, you can, and then the ones that are closer to the current price level, you could move your stop loss up, say 50%, and then you're sweet. Generally, like, you're going to wait when the next trade's ready to take. That's when you're going to close 50% of the previous one. Then you open your next one, so that one's secure. Anyway, guys, look, we're going to continue our merry way with this. Now, understand, this can also do that. All right, that's fine. But I tell you what, if it does that, I'm in, and we've got fairly deep stop loss at the moment. Probably go under here. Why not? And then I'll start to tighten up my stops if we get a bit of momentum behind it, if it does trend. But understand that it could go the other way, right? Now, if you're new and you're just starting out, the risk is higher because, you've got one trade, you could lose 1R and that hurts. But seriously, like, just be patient with it. Once you got a couple, 2 or 3 in, you got the buffer, you just, you gain so much confidence because you feel invincible because you've got such a big, strong buffer behind you, a big, strong buffer. Guys, it's been a long week and I need to take a break. Anyway, look, that's my take, and I would really love it if you comment. Tell me what you think. Do you have the discipline to trade something like this and to hang in there and see this through? Because you reach all-time highs from this level here, with these still, and you continue to build as you go. That you could, you could probably, that's a retirement plan. Seriously. Anyway, I don't want to get too carried away with this, but it's a exciting. Like with gold, it's the same thing. I'm bullish gold. I'm bullish Bitcoin. Some of the altcoins. Well, the altcoins, I'm ultimately bullish. And if we get that rally, I mean, remember 2017? Oh my God, it just went on and on and on and on and on, mate. When Bitcoin really takes off, this is huge money, serious money. So, on that note, make sure you comment because I really want to hear what you think. And have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.